Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. I'm Carol and I'm glad to have you here. I hope you will consider subscribing. So today has been quite a busy day. I've been doing a lot of things. I did a canning video and started a few other videos, so I've had a lot going on. So forgive me if I look a little bit frazzled, but I wanted to do this video real quick for you. I've been trying to get more sourdough videos to you guys. I just want to say I am not an expert on sourdough. I am just a casual sourdough baker, but I do keep a starter on hand because I do enjoy the flavor of sourdough. So today's video is going to be how to make sourdough cornbread. Try to come up with great ways to use up your discard from your starter. And that's what this recipe does. It's a great way, instead of throwing your discard away, you can use it to make this delicious cornbread. This recipe comes from the King Arthur Baking website. I will leave a link in the description box below. If you guys have hung around my channel very much, you know that I love their recipes. I love their company, and they are very tried, true, and trusted. So I love delving into their recipes. So this was one of the recipes that they had, a delicious way to use your sourdough discard. Now, the one thing that I did want to go over, their recipe calls for browning your butter. I do demonstrate that method, but I just wanted to point out that I have done it without browning the butter. I just melted the butter and used that in my recipe. So you don't have to do the browning the butter part. It does lend a really nice flavor in the background, and it makes your cornbread nice and crispy and really toasty on the bottom, but you do not need to do that. You do not need to use a cast iron skillet to make this recipe either. I've done it in a pie plate and in other baking dishes as well. So those things are entirely up to you. So I'm going to bring you in close and we're going to get started. We are going to start by putting 1 stick of butter into our cast iron skillet. I've also done this with a pie plate. So if you want to do it that way, you can as well. But for those of you who have cast iron, I highly recommend using the cast iron skillet. We are going to put this in an oven and then start it. We're going to start preheating it to 425. As the oven preheats, it's going to melt our butter and it's also going to brown it for us. So I'm going to stick this into a cold oven, turn it on to 425, and let that melt and brown while we put our other ingredients together. All right, first we're going to put together our wet ingredients. I have 1/3 cup of milk, 2 eggs, and then the star of our show is sourdough starter. Now, this is Sam, my sourdough starter. I fed him earlier today. You can use fed or unfed discard. I'm going to be using fed, obviously, because I fed him earlier today and he's nice and bubbly and ready to go. We need 1 cup. See how bubbly and beautiful he is? All right, I am going to use my Danish whisk. If you don't have one of these are fantastic for quick breads of any kind. And we're going to break up the eggs and incorporate our sourdough starter and our milk and our eggs all together. Okay, now we are going to mix together our dry ingredients. I have 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to add 1 cup of yellow cornmeal, 1/3 of a cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 of a teaspoon of baking soda. I'm going to whisk that together. I'm going to go ahead and whisk in my wet ingredients into my dry ingredients. Okay, so I let my butter toast a little bit in my pan, as you can see, and we want to go ahead and swirl it around. And then we're going to pour most of it, leaving a generous about 1 tablespoon in the bottom of our pan. And then we're going to incorporate the butter into our batter. I did let my butter cool a couple of minutes All right, once you incorporate your butter into your batter, we're gonna pour our batter into our prepared pan. We're gonna spread it out. We're gonna pop it into our preheated 425-degree oven and bake it for about 15 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. And there you have it. How beautiful is that nice golden brown, beautiful sourdough cornbread. Okay guys, how easy was that? The sourdough cornbread, perfect, is gonna be absolutely delicious with the sweet potato and black bean chili I have going on my stove. I also have a video of that heading your way. So let's take a look at the cornbread. I put some butter on it and then I drizzled it with honey. Can never go wrong with that. It's got a beautiful crumb to it. Hopefully you can see that okay. Let's taste it. It's nice and moist. You got a little bit of the sourdough flavor in the background, but it's just fantastic. An amazing and delicious way to use up some of your sourdough starter. Thanks for coming along with me today, guys. I appreciate all of your love and support. Oh, and also make sure to stay tuned for the black bean and sweet potato chili. So yummy, super nutritious, and really delicious. Have a great day, guys, and I will see you next time.